What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. Guys, we have a special episode for you today. Normally, there's a third joining us, but today you get a little two-man game between myself, Alpha Dog Bets, and JD from Line Movers. JD, I'm hyped to be on here with you per usual and give out some winning picks. How are you today?
Yes, sir. I am doing very well because the boys actually got it done last night. So
the Braves were one of the few that I did get right yesterday. Yesterday was not a great day for me, but we are bouncing back. It wasn't a horrible day, but after sweeping the day before, it was not what I was looking for. Your Braves came through. I think you may have to put that hat on a couple more times as we continue going through this, because there may be a couple things we're going to go over today, including that Braves game, which I don't want to let anything out too early. We may have another pick or two on them. We shall see. JD, we have a beautiful 5-game slate. We are coming up to the end of the season. A lot of action last night, a lot of movement in the MLB's playoff race. Royals now 2 games up of the Twins and the Mariners. They are also tied with the Tigers. So a little bit of a cushion in the AL wildcard race. Now it's not how it was looking yesterday when we did come on the show. In the NL wildcard race, it is extremely close. It is a 3-team race for 2 spots. The Mets, the D-backs, and the Braves, all separated by a game to a game and a half. So more to come on that. JD, you ready to dive in for the people? But first, how are you today? You got to tell the people. I already asked you that, but I want a little bit more detail. Everything's good? We're ready to go?
Good, man. Yeah. And, man, the Twins were actually right there, too, and they just suck, man.
What a disappointing game. All 3 of us were on the Twins yesterday.
I mean, that was such a twin spot, and that was just a bad game, man. So they're 2 games behind now?
They are a full 2 games back of the Tigers and the Royals. They're sitting at 81 and 76, while the Tigers and the Royals are sitting at 83 and 74. All 3 teams have 5 games to play, and there's a full 2-game cushion.
Yeah, man. As far as the Tigers go, man, they're hot, which is kind of weird to say, but yeah, man, I actually think I'm liking them.
Hey, man, we're about to get into that game. Before we do dive into that Tigers game, though, what a bad break for anybody who took the minus 1.5 yesterday. A 2-0 game all the way to the last out. 26 outs recorded. We all know you need 27 to complete a baseball game. And on that 27th out, they hit a home run to make it a 1-run game. They still got the win, but anybody who had that minus 1.5 was sure in hell at about 4:15 yesterday.
Yeah, that was very tough.
It was. JD, we've talked enough about yesterday. You ready to dive into today?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, my friend. Rays, Tigers, first game we're covering today. It's a little bit later, 6:40 start time. We're going to start with the Rays pitcher. Zach Little's pitching today. He's 8-9 with a 3.56 ERA. On the other side for the Tigers, they have Kiter Montero. Kiter is 6-6 with a 4.8 ERA himself. So not a great pitching matchup for the Tigers today, but it's an absolute must-win game. JD, we'll start with you. What are you thinking?
Just like we just said, man, the actual Tigers are actually really hot. I think the Padres are maybe the only hotter team currently now. This is a game we're actually both pitchers have been pitching well. I know that Montero did get hit his actual last start, but that was on the road, and he actually tends to not pitch as well on the road. But actually, besides that game, he has actually been pitching well. For me, this is not a regular play for actually me, but the under, it has actually been trending for actually like both teams. The Rays are actually 1-9 to actually the under, and the Tigers are actually 3-7. To me, this is another actually like playoff actually style game.
Yep.
And I believe the temps are actually starting to cool off too. And to me, this just sets up as a great underplay. The total actually bumped up. You can actually get an 8 now. So I actually love going actually under that.
I like that a lot. Is that going to be an official play or more to come on that?
Yeah.
An official play from JD. Lock that in, guys. We know we love those. I'm going to be taking the Tigers in a -120. They're just such a hot team right now, and they need to get in the playoffs. They need this game. We just went over that they have a 2-game lead. If they control their own destiny, they can make the playoffs if they produce. And this team is 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 3 consecutive games. They're the one team in the playoff race right now that is not choking. You take a look at the Royals. They're 3-7 on their last 10. The Twins are 3-7 in their last 10. The Orioles are 4-6, who clinched last night, but that was a lot closer than it needed to be. This Tigers team has stayed consistent. They are 8-2. They keep getting it done. And when the season's lights have gotten the brightest, they've continued to produce. So I'm taking the Tigers on the money line and a -120. I think they are going to be able to get it done yet again. Let's move right along, JD, to another team in this AL wildcard race, the Royals, who are taking on the Nationals in Washington yet again. Pitching for the Royals is Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen coming in 7-6 with a 3.4 ERA. On the other side, the Nationals are pitching DJ Hers. Hers is coming in 4-8 with a 4.3 ERA. JD, what you like?
Man, this game means actually like a lot, but man, this is a gross game.
It's a gross game.
Just to show you like how gross, the Royals have scored 5 runs in their past 6 games. That is insane. Hard to actually do.
Insane.
Like that's actually hard.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I have nothing here. The Royals are just a team that I just don't want to touch. I don't want anything to do with them. The Nats are basically, actually, like they're the same here. I really don't want anything to do with them. As far as the model goes, I will say it actually likes the Nats here, and it also likes the actual over. Like I said, the Royals' offense has been absolutely nothing, so I cannot take that. Yep. So for me, this is a very easy pass.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do. If I were to take something here, it would be the under. You take a look at how these two teams have done. The Nationals just have no life. They are the Nationals. They're beyond eliminated. And they lost a 1-0 game in 10 innings yesterday. The day before, they lost 5-0. The game before was a 5-1 game. Game before was a 3-1 game. So they're just not putting up a lot of runs. On the Royals side, we kind of just went over how bad they've been. They've been completely choking this wild card race. They're 3-7 on their last 10. They had a good win yesterday, but I mean, how good of a win is it when you win 1-0 in extra innings? I guess it doesn't really matter. You just have to get it done to get into the playoffs. But this is a young Royals team. They're very young, and they're clearly not living up to the expectation when the lights are at their brightest. So for me, I am going to avoid this game. I'll save you guys a signature line. If anyone's here, y'all know my line. Feel free to comment it in, but I am also going to be staying off this game. JD, let's move on to the next game on the slate, which is an absolutely disgusting one for me because we do not know who's pitching for the Yankees yet. We're going to the Yankees and the Orioles. Unfortunately for the Yankees, it does look like Nestor Cortez is in some trouble. He was scheduled to start in this game. He's been pulled as the starter. He's going to get looked at his left elbow for an MRI. JD, I don't really need to say much more about it, but when you know a guy's going in to have his elbow looked at, who's a pitcher, there's usually one thing that comes to mind, and that's the dreaded Tommy John. It seems like when it's an elbow this late in the year, I don't think we're going to see Nestor again for the Yankees, so that's going to be a big loss. Even if it's something that's not Tommy John, like something that Garrett Cole had in the beginning of the year, it kept him out for 3-4 months. So I don't think we're going to see Nestor Cortez again this season, which is going to be a tough break for this Yankees team. Thought he could have been a good bullpen arm in the playoffs, but the Yankees will move on. Let's cover this specific game. As I said, we still do not know who the pitcher for the Yankees is going to be. However, Zach Eflin is going to be the pitcher for the Orioles. Zach Eflin's coming in 10-9 with a 3.5 ERA. JD, I'll go over to you. I know you have some information about what happened after the game last night and why that may or may not go into your breakdown. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, as far as for the Yankees here, we do not know who is actually going to pitch, but I honestly don't really care. Last night Kramer went out and actually pitched a really good game.
Yes, he did.
And actually, like the O's won. So as far as a playoff spot, they're actually in now. I know for a fact that after the game, they had some fun. They had some drinks. This is just a clear actually fade spot. So just as far as the pitching goes, like I said, I really don't care. And for actually me, I really don't have to go past that. Yeah. So yeah, give actually me the actual Yankees here.
I'm in the same boat. This Yankees lineup has killed Eflin in the past, and I agree with you. I think that them going out last night, clinching, the weight is off their shoulders. They've had a ton of pressure because they've been doing so poorly over the last couple of weeks that they've gotten themselves somehow back in the wild card race. They were originally competing with the Yankees to win the division. That changed. It turned into a wild card race, but they got it done. And normally after teams clinch, I'm a huge fader of them. And like we said, Eflin's pitching. He's a fade pitcher. I don't care who's pitching for the Yankees, and the Yankees can clinch the AL East tonight. I think the Yankees will be able to clinch, and they'll get it done. So give me the Yankees on the money line at a minus 135. I'll let it out early. That's definitely going to be a best bet for me. Whoever the Yankees put in at pitcher is going to make this line go up. I don't see the game going more towards the Orioles. When the Yankees do officially announce their pitcher, I still think the odds are going to start trending towards the Yankees either way. There's nobody they're going to be putting in there, even if it's a bullpen game, that's going to make me want to stay away from this game at a minus 135. JD, we're on the same boat here. Let's take the Yanks. Quickly over to the chat. We have Footy Chancellor who's saying he's here. He was a little late. We appreciate you tuning in as always. Guys, if you're into soccer and you like winning soccer bets, make sure you jump in the MoneyBall Metrics Discord. Footy Chancellor is the soccer expert that is in our Discord, and he's been absolutely killing the game. So get in there, free to join and win with footy. Also, we want to go to our MMA expert. We have Joe here. What's up, Joe? We appreciate you tuning in as always. He likes the over in the Orioles-Yankees game. Little hesitant. I'd be a little hesitant because of, them going out last night. I'm not sure how the batters are going to do, but I can see their pitchers giving up a lot of runs. So let's see the Yankees score 15 runs and a 15-0 ball game. I think we'll be very happy if that's the case. Shout out to A. Russo, who's in the comments as well. What's good? We appreciate you tuning in, brother. If you have any questions about any specific games, let us know. A. Russo's also saying he loves the Yankees. We do as well. Tomorrow, JD, that's probably the first game we're going to talk about. I'm hoping we start this show with some good vibes. Let's keep it moving right along, my friend. We are flying today because we have the two-man game, but we are going on to our fourth breakdown of the day. We're going to the Mets, who are taking on JD's Braves. Good pitching matchup here. Pitching for the Mets is David Peterson. Peterson's coming in 9-3 with a 3.0 ERA. I've been a big backer of Peterson this year. I can't lie about that. On the other side for the Braves, we have Chris Sale. Revamped his career. Who would have thought Chris Sale, when we're looking at his record on Wednesday, September 25th, 2024, would be 18-3 with a 2.3 ERA? This has been one of his best seasons as a pro, and he's doing it for a team that really needs him because this is another game that has major playoff implications on the line. Let me break down why this game is so important for the NL wildcard standings. The Mets are currently sitting at 87-70. The Diamondbacks are sitting at 87-71, so they're tied in the win column. And the Braves are sitting right behind them both at 86-71. Only two of these three teams can make the playoffs, as the Padres have already clinched a wild card spot and a playoff berth. So there's two spots remaining and three teams fighting for it. All three teams are within a game of each other. Happens to be that two of the three teams are playing each other. So this is definitely the biggest game of the slate, probably one of the biggest games of the rest of the year. This is a major playoff decider game. JD, you're the Braves expert. You get them right more than anybody I've seen on social media. What do you think about this Braves-Mets game?
This whole season, we've actually been saying, these actual Braves bats, where have they been? They just haven't shown up. This actual lineup is honestly so good. I've been fused by them so much. But they are heating up at just the right time. Their actual lineup right now is hitting extremely well. And they face an actual left-hander to a day. And let me tell you what, the Braves rake them. I mean, they are tops in everything you can look at as far as OPS and batting average. I mean, literally everything. And then as far as actually Peterson goes, yes, his actual season-long numbers look good. If you really dive in, though, his actual underlying numbers are really not good. And I really expect the Braves bats to actually really hit him. And as far as Peterson goes, yeah, I mean, like I said, his actual numbers are starting to actually come actually back now. I actually believe he's given up 5 runs in actually 2 of his past 3 starts.
Yep.
And I'm kind of expecting to actually see the same thing here. Then on the other side, we have actually Chris Sale going. There's not a whole lot more to really say there. Like we just talked about, this actually is a playoff game. I fully expect Sale to go out there and actually get things done. He's actually been doing this for a long time, and I just expect the best actually out of him.
Absolutely.
To me, we're getting two actually plays in this game with really good lines. Give me the Braves. Give me their first 5, actually team total over 2.5. That is at plus 115. And then give me the Braves on the run line. Looks like you can get a plus 120 there.
I like that as well. And I see the game the same way you do. We were definitely aligned in the Braves game yesterday, and I'm taking the full game team total over for the Braves. That's a tongue twister. Full game team total over. There we go. And I'm taking it at 4.5. It's coming in at plus 120. So you're getting good plus money there. We saw the Braves score 5 runs yesterday. So if they're able to do that again, that's exactly what we need. And let's take a look at the Braves' most recent wins. On 9/22, they beat the Marlins. They won 5-4. Game before that, they won 6-2. Game before that, they won 15-3. So this team, every time they're winning, is scoring over 4.5 runs right now. We're continuing with the right trend. And JD, I'm not going to lie to you. You put it perfectly. This Braves team is getting hot at the right time. If they get into the playoffs as the last wild card team, watch out. They have the fields of the Texas Rangers last year, 100%. It's all about when you get hot and what time you get hot. And the Braves are getting hot at the right time. I'm sure Braves fans would have rather them get hot maybe a couple weeks ago, so they weren't in this stressful of a wild card race. But they are getting hot. They still have 5 games to go, and I do think that this team should be able to have another big performance. Give me the team total over 4.5. Like I said, you get that at a plus 120. Going back over to the comments, our guy Joe is here. He's on the Braves train with us. We love that. I know you were yesterday, so we all cashed and we're happy about that game. So let's keep the good vibes and the winning rolling. JD, we're absolutely flying today. We're moving on to the last game we have on the slate. After this game, we still have our outlier play of the day as well as our best bets. But let's get into it. Last game we have is going to be the Padres who are taking on the Dodgers. Padres had a big performance last night, winning 4-2. Michael King Day. JD's guy, Michael King, showed up like he does. Let's look at the pitching matchup here. Dylan Cease is on the bump for the Padres today. He's coming in 14-11 with a 3.4 ERA. First of all, Dylan Cease should not have a record of 14-11 with a 3.4 ERA. These guys have not hit for him this year. Kind of wild to see that. On the other side, Jack Flaherty coming in 13-7 with a 3.1 ERA. JD, these teams are separated by 2 spots. They've both clinched the playoffs. They're battling it out for the NL West championship. What do you like in this matchup?
You know, just actually like we said to start the show, Padres are hot. They are just winning games. I believe they're 9-1 in their last 10 now. They're just finding ways to actually win games. And we all know, as far as baseball, as far as streaks go, that is the one sport where, as far as those type of trends, I actually like to stay on those. And then if I find other reasons to back that, then that's just great. To me, in this game, as far as the Padres, we're actually getting a great price here. And as far as the actual Dodgers, I mean, I think that's why we're actually getting such a good price still. Because Dodgers, I mean, nobody likes to actually fade them. So that's why I think we're getting such a hot team, but at still such a good price.
You're right.
And actually, as far as the starters go here, if you look past just the past 2 or 3 games, the better option here is definitely Cease. It is not even close here.
Yep.
There's another game just like last night. Like I was saying, I just felt the Padres were going to be able to put up enough runs that they were just going to be able to do it. Tonight, for me, this has the same feel, that they're just going to be able to put up enough runs. I'm actually thinking probably around 5. And I actually that's going to get the job done. So for me in this game, it actually opens up a bunch of plays. I absolutely love this game. Give me the Padres first 5 team total over 1.5 at minus 115. Give me the Padres full game team total over 3.5 at minus 110. Give me the Padres money line at plus 120.
Wow. JD, you've never done that. That was a triple-headed banger coming from JD on one game, and you've been nailing these Padres lately. Guys, if you're listening, I would listen because this is a team that JD's been getting right quite a lot. JD, you put it perfectly as well. I'm all over the Padres train. How can you not be? We like to play the hot teams as it's going to the end of the season. They're 9-1 over the last 10. They've won 90% of their ball games in their last 10 games. This is the hottest team in baseball. We spoke about it early. I don't understand these odds. I think the wrong team is favored. I think the Padres are the clear choice here. And give me the Padres on the money line at plus 120. JD, you put it perfectly. There's nothing more I really need to say here. This team is hot. They're getting it done. And I think they get it done yet again at plus 120 on the money line. JD, we absolutely flew today. One last check to the comments before we get into our outlier play. Joe is here saying that the Padres always show up for Dodgers games. You're absolutely right about that. It's a good rivalry, and they tend to do well. What's the season standings between the two of them? Let's take a look here. Give me 1 second. Regular season, and Joe, you put it perfectly. They own them. The Padres own the Dodgers this year. The Padres are 8-3 against them this year. So you were right. They've been absolutely killing the matchups. Great call there. JD, it's about time we give the people our outlier play of the day. You ready to dive into that?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, guys. You already know about Outlier. We talk about them on every single show. They are the number one tool for finding player props and the best advantages in player props. Today, we have targeted Michael Harris to score over 0.5 runs, so he just needs to score 1 run. You can currently get that at plus 110. Michael Harris has hit this in 6 of his last 7 games, and he's hit this in 80% of his last 5, as well as 80% of his last 10. You guys know we're big percentages people. We like to see how people are doing. And Michael Harris has been an absolute tear scoring. We think that the Braves are going to score plenty of runs tonight. If that's the case, Michael Harris surely should get one of them. So our official play yet again for Outlier is Michael Harris over half a run. So we just need him to get 1 run. You could get that at plus 110. Guys, if you're not already signed up on Outlier, what are you doing? You see us talking about it every single day. Check out the link at MoneyBall Metrics, Twitter, /X/Bluebird, whatever the hell you want to call the app. There will be a link there for a discounted rate. Check out Outlier. I think you guys really will enjoy it. There's a lot of props, especially in baseball and football. Check it out. You guys will really enjoy it. JD, let's keep moving right along. We do have a couple more comments in the chat. Romance Ray is here saying the Padres did party last night. That's also true. We talked about that. That is a very good point. JD, I'll let you address it.
I was about to say, yes, they did, but it's not the same. The Padres are actually still right in this race. Whereas the actual O's are actually not.
Yep.
So there's a big difference there. And actually how much you do party and drink, there's a clear actually difference there. So I'm actually fine with actually that.
I feel the exact same way, but good comment, right? Good comment, good observation. We have another comment before we get into best bets. Footy Chancellor, our soccer guy, is here saying, is he crazy for grabbing Padres plus 1,300 to win it all? No, they have the bullpen to get it done. The one thing I keep talking about my Yankees and a lot of the AL teams is they have the weaker bullpens. I really don't know if any of these AL teams, any of them, can contest with either the Padres, the Dodgers, or the Phillies in the NL. I think it's an NL year. The NL seems to have all the good bullpen players, and I think that's where the difference is going to be. So, Footy, I definitely do not hate that idea. JD, you know what time it is. We have just over 700 people here. It's a small show today, little baseball action, so we understand that. But we're here to still give the winners, and JD, it's time for best bets. How many do you have for the people today? Do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? Do you have 10? What you got?
I will say that every play that actually I talked about is an actual play. So y'all can go back through those. And actually I personally played all of those. As far as for best bets, let me give out 2. Let's go to that Padres game. And I liked 3 plays on there, but I really give me the Padres first 5 team total over 1.5. At actually minus 115. Yeah, I just think that number is just way too low. Then for the other play, we have to go back to it.
Let's go.
Give me. Let's actually go with the same type of play. Give me the Braves first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 120.
Awesome. Love it, JD. Hard hat plays are undefeated, so we're staying with hard hat plays. Footy, I see you guys talking in the chat here. Russo is saying the Tigers World Series odds drop from 2,000 plus 1,600. Footy's saying plus 4,000. Footy, are you talking about the Tigers being plus 4,000? Because that sounds accurate to me. If you're a Tigers fan, it's always fun to have a little bet on your team, but this team is not built to win the World Series. So I do give you credit. You got to look into it, but there's just no value on a team that I don't see that'll remotely have a chance at even making the World Series. I hate to say that if you're a Tigers fan, but that's how I feel. Let's go into my best bets, fellas. I'm going to be on the Tigers money line minus 125. I just said how I don't believe in this team, but I think they are going to win today. I'm very confident in them still getting into the playoffs. They should take care of the slowly raised team. Give me the Tigers minus 125. Second favorite play. We just went over at Padres plus 120. Don't need to go over the reasons why. Third and final, we're taking the New York Yankees to lock up the AL East at minus 135. JD, any other plays you want to give the people? Anything you want to say to the people before we get the heck out of here?
Oh, there's it, guys. Besides, go Braves.
Go Braves, go Yanks. Let's have another big night, JD. It's always a pleasure getting to do this with you. Over 750 people here. We appreciate every single one of you, especially the guys who comment in chat. If you comment in chat, know you all favorites. I'm just kidding. But we really do appreciate all the comments, all the participation, and everything that's been here today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. But the good news is we got a lot of action tomorrow. We got football, and we're back into the meat and potatoes. JD, say goodbye to the people.
Later, guys.
Let's win.